Hello, hello, hello. It's time for another meeting with Norm Winski. It's the 12th of, 11th of December 2023. And Norm, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Jeff. When I was last on your show was November 20th, and I gave you these astro forecast points here that week, right around the Thanksgiving holiday. The night of the 22nd, we had geocentric. That's from the point of view of the Earth, Mars entering the sign of Sagittarius. And by the way, all points point to the stock market, and then I have additional markets indicated. Then we had Jupiter to U.S. chart for stocks, T-bonds, U.S. dollar. Then we had that was the weekend of the 24th. We also had the weekend of the 24th. Heliocentric, that's from the point of the sun, Mars entering Sagittarius, and the Uranus to the U.S. chart for stocks, T-bonds, U.S. dollar. And then that weekend we also had, that's 4 points full moon that weekend for financials, grains, and precious metals. Here's our first chart, corn. Corn, we are about a day early on that, and as you can see there, we needed to be over here, not there, and so that's a miss. Here's the way it's supposed to look. Soybeans pulled down into the full moon, as it was we like to see, and then we made a nice short-term low there and popped up. You had a chance to make some money. Here's wheat. Wheat is a kind of a heartbreaker in that we had the low day of the month on the full moon, but it opened too high, and then you had a potential big drawdown, about 25 cents. That's too much for wheat, and so I had to mark that as a miss. Silver just kept going up, so that's a miss. Here's gold going sideways. Amazingly, you might remember back right around Thanksgiving, S&P could not have been flatter, more narrow than what it was that week. And so we had to call all 5 points. I think there were 5 points there, all passes, because we don't do sideways. Then we had T-bonds pulled down into the full moon and our 2 U.S. points. And then they off to the races for T-bonds, so that was really good. But then negating that, the U.S. dollar took the same 3 points and did not turn for another day or two. So we were about a day, 1 to 2 days early there. So adding up the green arrows and red arrows, we had 4 winners, 6 misses out of 10 for only 40% winners. Probably the worst patch I've had in years, many years. Okay, so hopefully you'll see, though I'm an honest guy, a lot of people don't even show their misses. And here we go. So you take my word for it. I drew this blue line. It's in the letter every month, forecasting the S&P stock market for the month of November. I started on October 30th, ended on December 1, and you can see that there's a pretty nice correlation there between the blue line and the actual prices, which were the black bars, S&P 10-minute bars. And now moving ahead to the future, coming up here tomorrow night, Tuesday the 12th of December, we have a new moon in the sign of Sagittarius, so financials, grains, precious metals, and a big and here, we also have Mercury in Capricorn turning retrograde within 24 hours of each other. That is a rare combination, and when that happens, it's had a very, very good track record of about 90% of the time you got a big turn, and about 9 out of 10 of those are the last 10 occurrences over the past about going back about 15, 20 years or more. 9 out of 10 of those have been all tops. We need to see the market for this to work. You have to have the market, whatever market you're looking at that's indicated, have to have some movement. The bigger the movement, the better. Newton's law for every action, opposite equal reaction. So the bigger the move in one direction, the bigger the potential for reversal in the opposite direction. Just for example, grains, soybeans are having a big update, had a big update today, Monday the 11th. And if that were to continue tomorrow, that would be a potentially very good setup for a top by Wednesday morning the 13th. Okay, so also let's see, coffee. Coffee's having a big move today, and so forth. So if that continues into tomorrow on the same direction, we're up big today on coffee. Another big up day tomorrow will give you a setup. So there's your markets there. And the stock market I told you has a high percentage track record of turning on there. We need a little more, like to see a little more movement than just this small to moderate stair-stepping stock market. Like to see a big up day tomorrow to get it at least a little bit overbought. So there we go. And then the afternoon of the 15th, Jupiter lines up with Saturn for cattle, coffee, cotton, oil. I think I said it, but I'll say it again. All these points point to the stock market in addition to whatever I've said. Cotton, oil. And then the weekend of the 15th, Mars 0 north latitude. That's a 2-year cycle for corn and gold. I've been doing this a long time, 45 years or more as a professional. I was trading in college in the early 70s, made enough money to buy a membership on the Chicago Board Options Exchange. Went there right out of college. I was my own boss, member and market maker there on the CBOE for 12 years. Also traded on the Chicago Board of Trade and traded all these different methodologies. So if you're interested in any of these, I'll be happy to talk to you about them. Also, if you want any help with any of these technical terms, be happy to give you a free class. If you just contact me, we'll set up a free class for that. You can get a hold of me here in beautiful Naples, Florida at 239-594-3939, 239-594-3939, or you can email me nwinski@yahoo.com or call me on Skype at nwinski_1. That's nwinski_1. Happy holidays, everyone, and you Jeff, and hope to help some of your folks real soon.
Well, Norm, thanks ever so much. I'm going to watch what happens after the close tomorrow. That date sounds like it's pretty important, so we're going to see what happens when you come back in a couple of weeks, but actually we'll probably see on the 13th if it's going to work or not. Norm, thanks ever so much, and we'll see you back in a couple of weeks.
Thank you very much, Jeff.